Hello, welcome back to another episode of Mimi's Musings podcast. I'm your host Gungo Mildred, and I'm so happy that you've joined me another Saturday for another amazing episode. Disclaimer: if you hear music in the background, forgive me. I think there's a funeral or something that is happening outside our apartments because I can hear music and it's not in our building because people are asleep. At the moment, it's already 1 a.m. and nobody in the building could be playing such loud music at this time. So I think it's outside our apartments and people are down there, they're talking, they're laughing. So it's not even my neighbors now. It's just, I think, random people outside our apartments. So if you hear the music, please forgive me. It's not here. I don't know what's happening. So, and they're very loud. I don't know how, but because it's so quiet outside, we can really hear them if they're shouting. So that's why you can hear them. So on today's episode, I'm going to talk about apologies and when it's appropriate to tell them, to ask for them, and when it's not. And this, remember, they're just my musings. You do not have to follow what I do. They're just things that I've observed, as I always say, my musings. And I don't know. Just listen. And if you agree with me, it's okay. If you do not, it's okay. We're different people. You do not have to agree with me. And if you have comments about it, tell me in the comment section down below. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you have not told your people, your friends, your family to subscribe, please ask them to do so. And ask them to be coming and watching every week on Wednesday and on Saturday. Okay? So let's get into today's episode. So this apologies thing is something I was thinking about just a couple of days ago. As I said, I'm an overthinker. And I usually just have these random thoughts in my mind sometimes. And it's of different things. Like they just come to me and I'm like, okay, so what am I supposed to do with this? Growing up, there are a lot of things that were done to me, said about me, said to me, and nobody ever apologized. Like, the people who are born before us, the millennials, these people do not know how to apologize. That's our parents, our grandparents. These people do not know how to apologize. Like your mom will do or say something and then cook something good like chapo or your favorite meal and feed it to you. That is them. That is her apologizing. Your dad will say something, he will, I don't know, say that you did something that you know you didn't, and then he will go and buy you, like, I don't know, a bottle of juice or something that you love and bring it to you. That's him apologizing. Our parents and our grandparents do not know how to apologize. It's like the generations before millennials, the boomers and the others, they do not know how to say I'm sorry. And so millennials were raised by people who do not know how to apologize, and people who carried a lot of trauma in them. And so they sort of traumatized the millennials, but we, because we saw that, and millennials are the ones who are giving birth to Gen Zs and stuff. I don't know, somehow we as millennials decided to apologize. We're the first generation to tell our parents that we love them, and we tell our children that we love them. And it's just, we have become the change. And so because of us, I feel like Gen Zs are a little bit stronger, and the Gen Alphas, they're crazy. Because when a 2 or 3-year-old looks at you and tells you, like, why are you yelling at me, mommy? Relax. We can talk about this. Stop shouting at me. Just talk to me. I'll listen. Gen Alphas are a different breed. They call them COVID babies. Those ones are a different breed. But anyway, so we learned how to apologize. And because the people who wronged me, some of them are millennials, some of them are a little bit older, but they do not know how to apologize. They never, like nobody from my childhood, from my past, ever looked at me and said, for what I did, for the part that I played in your life, I'm sorry. Because I learned that when somebody tells you they're sorry, you do not say, okay, there's no problem. De nada. No. Don't worry about it. No. Say, I forgive you. Acknowledge that apology. Say that I hear you and I forgive you. And if you do not forgive them, just tell them, no, I'm not ready to forgive you just yet. So give me time. I'll forgive you when I can, but no. Otherwise, just be like, okay, I forgive you and move on. Because I feel like I've forgiven people so many times, and they never even asked for an apology from me, but I forgave them for me, because you know what they say, when you carry a grudge, it's like poisoning yourself and expecting the other person to die. So you just keep drinking the poison because you're upset with this other person and you expect them to die, but you're the one who ends up dead. So that is holding a grudge. You just keep carrying it and, burdening yourself. And so I go to a point where I was like, in my life, you know what? I'm just going to forgive these people and move on. I will never forget what they did. That's different. But forgiving, I will, because of my own emotional state, because I want to move on, because I'm no longer interested in carrying this burden. Because the people who wrong me as well, they'll do the thing that hurts me, and it will hurt me, and I'll talk about it, I'll complain, I'll cry. And these people, because they do not ask forgiveness and I've forgiven them, I move on, I still allow them in my life. They'll do the same thing or something close to what they did. And they won't even feel ashamed about it, because they did it and they forgot about it and they moved on. So I'm the one who's carrying all this burden. I'm the one who's carrying all these memories, and I'm remembering and I'm feeling terrible and I'm crying, and they don't remember. But the problem with that is, even when I forgive them, because I cannot forget, they'll do it and I'll remember the other time they did what they did. And so I kept blaming myself for forgiving them, and forgive them second, third, fourth, 10th chances. And at the end of it, I was like, so what am I doing? And that's why it's easier to just like let people go. Like if somebody has hurt you so much, I know last week, but once episode I was like, do not cut people off. But in that case, I'm like, just cut people off. But then you are sometimes, when you're trying to cut people off, you realize that they are family and that you need them in one way or another. And so you just can't cut them off. Like it's your mother who did something, it's your father. That is for those who are close to them. They raised you, they fed you, they educated you, and all of that. It's not easy for you to cut them off unless they were really, really toxic. But then for me, it's easier because, well, you've heard my story. But the thing is, you want to cut people off, but there are people who are still in your life, a part of your story, a part of your life. So you keep quiet, you put them away from your mind and all that, but then they call you and they text you and they tell you that they need you. And if you're a people pleaser, you give them another chance. You still remember what they did, but you're like, but that's in the past. Let me just give them another chance. You give them another chance, and then it's like you're giving them a chance to do something else that is worse. So they keep doing that and they keep doing that and they never ask for apology. You keep forgiving. So it just becomes a vicious cycle that you are left wondering what to do next. But anyway, all that being said, there are a couple of things that I've done, because I'm not a saint. I know I complain about things that have been done to me. I complain about life sometimes and everything. But I'm not a saint. I'm a human being. I've wronged people. But I have this mind and I have this conscience whereby if I even step on you without, like I didn't mean to do it, it will keep coming back to my mind like I did this huge thing and I just want to say I'm sorry. Something that happened a little bit recently, and in my overthinking, I just started a monologue with myself in the house, and that's why I thought about doing this episode. So, as most of you know by now, I have not been employed for 4 years. Like this April will mark 4 years of me being unemployed. In the course of the 4 years, I've had online jobs, I've had my own businesses, I've had to like make t-shirts and like print t-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. I've cooked for people. I do that still, but if you want, you can have me come to your place and make food for the whole week. You pay me a little money and stuff like that, chapatis, mandazis, samosas, and now I'm baking and stuff like that. So I've had a couple of things that I do, and I still do. The two customers are not as they used to be, and because also the economy is bad, because the people I used to cook for mostly were bachelors. They wanted homemade foods, but they don't know how to cook or something like that. So they will hire me, I go and cook for them for the whole week, put them in their fridge, then they all go back the next week. Like there's a time that things were running smoothly. But then recently, I think since last year, things changed and they haven't been quite the same. Even the baking is not as I thought it was going to be by now. Because I've tried, I put them online, I do what, I tell people who tell people and stuff like that, but the business just isn't there as I would want it to be. And sometimes I just feel like giving up, as I said in my giving up episode. But in that whole process of me not having, of me trying, of me, I've had to depend on people a lot. So my family, my friends, they've been coming through for me. It's been 4 years, man. 4 years. So I get that people are tired of helping. I get that people are tired of just being there for me. And that I understand. And so sometimes I just don't even borrow, I just keep quiet. But sometime last year, I think November, I was sick. And I remember I called a couple of people asking them for help. And everybody, it was a terrible time. It was in the middle of the month. Who has money in the middle of the month? So I borrowed from a couple of people, and all of them were like, I do not have, I do not have, I do not have, I do not have. Only one person called me back later and was like, yeah, so nili patayodo. Like, I found the money here. Take it, go to the hospital, because I need to go to the hospital. So I was sick in October, then I got sick again in November. Like, as I said, October, November, December were terrible months. And then January, February, and this March have not been any better. So like since October, I just feel like things just went down the hill for me. I don't know why, but that's what happened. Because I'd made calls to a couple of people, because I really needed to go to the hospital. It was something urgent that I needed to take care of, like soon before it became worse. So I called a couple of people and somebody helped me. But I'd called this one friend and they had said they did not have. Then at the end of the month, when I've just sorted things, I'm thinking, oh, rent, a couple of things. I'm waiting for this money to come in so that I can pay those bills and stuff like that. My gas ends. Like, it was on the 30th of November, that 30th. My gas decides, you know what? Bye-bye, adios, I'm gone. And I called one of the friends I'd called in the middle of the month and I was like, hey, please help. And so they decided to help. They did. Because gas is one thing. Like, I do not have a backup cooker. So I have like a stove, like a kerosene stove. And usually I just use it to make chapos. But food, and then kerosene is also expensive. So for chapos, I can buy for like 50 pop and I'll cook chapos just for me. Because it's the small packet, the 1 kg packet. So, and it even remains a little bit, which I usually like having there just in case the gas finishes in the middle of me cooking ugali or something. I can just put it on quickly and finish cooking. But I do not like using kerosene because again it also just dirtifies the walls, the smoke and stuff, and it makes everything smell bad. So like gas is very important. So I asked this friend and they came through. So I was very glad, but as soon as they gave me the money, I knew that that was the last time they were ever going to help me. If you remember, there's a time I spoke about me waking up with a dream. I had tears in my eyes. I just dreamt like everybody who had been helping me, they had stopped and they hated me. I remember when I went to WhatsApp on my WhatsApp page and I wrote this entire thing like, hey, whoever has been helping me, blah, 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 don't hate me. I know it has been long and stuff like that, but don't hate me. Just pray that things get better or something like that. There's something I wrote last year towards the end because I remember I saw this thing coming. And usually I have some premonitions, like they're usually small things. Like when I was in Sharjah, I told you about my roommate. I had seen it coming several times, exactly how it happened, and it did exactly that. Now, this time when I wake up with tears in my eyes, having dreamt that the people who used to help me, they had just stopped and they hated me, I saw it coming. And I felt, and I remember just waking up and praying. I remember praying to God, like, do not make them hate me. Give me like a job, give me a proper source of income so that, I stop putting them in these situations. When they gave me the help in November to buy gas, I remember I just felt in my heart that was the last time they were going to be giving me any monetary help. I knew it. I felt it and I knew it. They didn't have to tell me anything because they didn't even comment. I just wrote to them like, thank you so much for your help. And then I think they just liked the message or something. I don't know, something like that. But they never said anything, which wasn't a shock because Every other time they've ever helped me, even without me asking for help, sometimes they'll just surprise me and I'll just be like, thank you. And they will always just like the message. They will never comment back or say like welcome or anything like that. They'll just like the message. So I wasn't surprised when they did, but in my heart, I knew, I felt it. And I remember that dream I'd had just before waking up in the morning, where the people who had been helping me were tired and they were upset and they hated me. I remembered that. So I moved along. December, January, and then Feb came and I had another problem. So I was like, okay, started again. People, who can I ask for help? I went through a couple of friends, a couple of friends. I even asked them, but I was asking whoever. When I really like, I'm really stuck, I'll ask whoever has ever helped me. And then, but there's some people who I'm like, this will be the last one. Like if I ask everybody else, and nobody is capable of helping me, then I'll go to this person. So knowing that this person, they were like, yeah, I'm no longer helping you. They didn't say it, but I felt it in November. I was just like, you know what? My grandma tells me, ask. You wouldn't ask if you had it. So because you do not have, ask. Whoever wants to give you, they'll give. Whoever doesn't want, it's okay. The worst they can do is say no. And I go by that honestly. I'm like, yeah, if I had, I wouldn't be. And it's not like I'm just sitting on my ass, not wanting to work or anything so that I can just ask help from people. So I was like, you know what? The worst they can do is say no. Or actually have that conversation they wanted to have with me, because I'd conversed with them in January, not about them helping me, just about other things. And even during that conversation, there's a way they were texting that I knew. I was like, yeah, that feeling I had in November, this is the confirmation. But in February, I was at a desperate place again. I just needed the help. And so I was like, let me try. I texted them as well, amongst other people. And I remember in the note that I sent them, I was like, if you can, it's okay. If you cannot, it's okay. You do not owe me your money. If you can't, it's okay. I just move to the next person and I don't know, like I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was like, because I usually tell people like, if you can, please do. If you cannot, it's okay. Because I never want anybody to feel like I'm telling them you have to. I'm asking for your help. If you can, please help. If you cannot, it's okay. And I'm genuinely okay with you not helping me, because you do not owe me anything. And as I always say again, it's your money. You have worked hard for it. You don't have to give it to me if you don't want to. Okay? So I did. And the other people that had asked for help were coming back like, I'm sorry, I do not have right now. Or I've just paid fee. Or I've just done this. Or I've just done this. And I understood that. Okay? And then this person never responded. And my conscience hit me again, and I wanted to apologize. Because I already knew they never wanted to help me again. I knew it. I felt it in November. I knew it. When we chatted in January, I felt it again. They didn't have to write whatever they were feeling in the conversation we're having, but it's the way they were conversating with me. If that's even a word, I don't know. But the way they were talking to me that time while we were chatting, the way they were writing, like I was taught in high school to read in between the lines. So sometimes I just feel like it's my overthinking, but that time I knew it wasn't my overthinking. It was the truth. It was what was happening. They were trying to like tell me to never ask for the help again without actually saying it, or even veering anywhere near that conversation of money and stuff. But it's the way they were chatting. And so they didn't say anything. And I remember for an entire week, my conscience could not let me be. It kept telling me apologize. And I came up with different ways of saying it and different things to apologize about. So I was like, I'm sorry for borrowing money from you. I'm sorry for putting you in that situation. I'm sorry for making you, not know what to say to me. I'm sorry for ever asking for your help. I'm sorry for Like it was different ways to apologize. I remember even this following Sunday, I went to church. And while I was praying, I was like, I need to know what. I sat in that church and in my mind, I was like trying to figure out of a way to write a message or at least send a voice note to them to apologize. It kept coming back into my mind. How do I put this apology in a way that will make them understand that I'm really sorry for putting them in the situation that I put them in, for making them not even want to respond to my message in the first place? And it kept hitting my mind, and I kept thinking and thinking and thinking. In church, I kept praying until I think while I was in church, a moment just came to my mind and I was like, God, help them know that I'm sorry about whatever it is they think I did to them that was wrong. Help them know that I'm sorry. I left the church coming home and I was like, yeah, I'll get home and I'll write this message or I'll send this voice note. I'll record that voice note and send it. But once I got home, I think, I don't know what switched in my mind. And I was just like, no, I'm not going to apologize. And this is the reason why. Every way that I had thought about apologizing, every conversation, every way that I thought of writing the message, every way that I thought about recording the voice note, each and every word, everything that was coming to my mind, I felt like the way they would receive it would be like either manipulating them or I'm trying to gaslight them, which is sort of the same thing, but it also feels a little bit different. The manipulating and the gaslighting, they're the same, but also different in a way. And the reason I thought that was this. This person and I, even before they started helping me, I never went to them to ask them for help. They reached out at some point. We started chatting. They asked me how I was. I told them my situation, and they decided to help. After that, they kept helping every once in a while whenever they could, sometimes without even me asking. But it was far in between. If I've ever asked for your help, you know that I usually take time before I come back to somebody to ask them for help. But they sometimes could help without even me going to them. Sometimes I would ask for their help, but they were far in between. The only time that changed was in November when I went to them twice. But even me going to them twice in that November, they only helped the one time, which I'm super grateful for. Do not take me wrong or anything. I'm very, very grateful for their help. And even the other ones, even when I didn't ask, very, very grateful. They helped me in times where I really needed the help, but I did not know how to get it. So very, very grateful. I'll never take that for granted. But something changed that November, right? There's a story that was told behind my back about me. That is what I think. Then that story of cutting people off, I feel like a similar story was told between that person who was helping me and somebody else who does not know me. This person who helped me, they know me. We have known each other for years, and they know a version of what I've been through for the past 4 years. A version. I do not tell everybody everything. I think the only people who know everything are like 3 people in my life. 3. Most of the other people, I just tell them I do not have this, I do not have that, I do not have this. I tell them whatever I need them to know, but not the whole story. The only people who truly know are 3. And even them, there are aspects I do not say because I don't want them just to sympathize and pity me and stuff. So sometimes I just withhold some things even though I'm going through the wildest of like depression and anxiety and other things like that. I don't call people my friends unless I know them, the good side of them and the bad side of them. So this person, I know them inside and out, sort of. Like, I know them. We haven't sat down and spoken in a couple of years, like properly. But the person that they were when I really knew them and I will see them every single day, I know that version. And because I know that version, I know that they're not the ones who just decided. I feel there's a conversation that was had about me, about my situation, about them helping me. Somebody told them, you have to cut them off. And that is the feeling that I felt that November. And so because I believe there's a conversation that was had, and I might be wrong, by the way. I'm sorry. I am. For whatever that situation I put them through, I am sorry. And if I ever met them in real life, we'll have a conversation, and that is what I'm waiting for. But while I was thinking of an apology to tell them, I was like, because I know this person, I know there's a conversation that was had between them and somebody else, and they were told to cut me off. Or they themselves, they just decided, I've given so much, so I'm going to cut her off. And it's okay. So when I was thinking about apologizing, I was like, if I say I'm sorry for asking for their help, I'll be lying, because I'm not sorry for asking for help. Because the alternative will be me, I don't know, sleeping with somebody for money, or stealing from somebody, or just doing some insulting thing to me and my family. And I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to, like, just, go against all my morals and do something like that. So yeah, I'm not sorry for asking for help. You are supposed to ask for help. If you feel like your hands are tied and there's nothing you can do, you are allowed to ask for help. So I'm not sorry that I asked for help. So if I said that I'm sorry for asking for their help, I'll be lying, because I'm not sorry for asking for help. Nobody should feel sorry for asking help from anybody. They are my friend. I can ask for help. And if they cannot give it, it's okay. And I'm supposed to be good if they cannot help, because it's life. I'm supposed to be good. Our friendship is supposed to be good even after that. And I've always been okay with that. I've never been upset with somebody because they couldn't help me. So I'm not sorry for asking for their help, because I'm not sorry for needing their help. I'm sorry about my situation, the situation that I was in, that put me in that situation that I had to ask for their help, but I'm not sorry for asking them for help. Am I sorry for asking them in particular for the help? I'm not so sure I am as well, because they're a friend. What I thought, what I felt about them, November being the last time they would ever help me, that was again just in my head. It wasn't proved. And these things usually come to me. Like, I've had so many premonitions, and some of them come true and I never get to hear about them. But that one was one that I was hoping that wasn't true. And because I didn't want to believe it, because I'm always told, do not believe the negative, just always be positive, I was trying to be optimistic. And I was like, okay, let me just try. It does not hurt to try. But then they didn't want to. And that proved to me that, oh yeah, that feeling I had, that was serious. And they never want to help me again. So it's okay. So was I sorry for asking for their help in particular? No, I'm not. Then I was like, okay, say that you're sorry for putting them in the situation that forced them not to reply to you or talk to you. Am I sorry for that? No. Because they could have told me no. They could have told me I do not have. They could have told me I can no longer help you. Don't give me an explanation. Just say no, I cannot help you any longer. Or just say no, I do not have. No, I can't. And that would have been okay. Them keeping quiet, that was their decision. So me saying that I'm sorry for putting you in a situation where you had to behave badly towards me is something that I've always done unknowingly in my life, where I've pitied the person who hurts me, and I feel like I'm the one who wronged them, even though I know deep down that what they have done is wrong. And this, it does not matter that I'm the one who did what. They hurt me. They did that. They betrayed me. And so I'm not sorry for putting them in the situation where they didn't have to talk to me, because that is not a friendly thing to do. They could have just said no, as I said. And because they know me, they know I love addressing things, head first. Like, I've done something wrong. Let's talk about it. Let's move past it. I ask you for forgiveness, you forgive me. You ask me for forgiveness, I forgive you. We talk about it, we move on from it. That's me. Anybody who calls themselves my friend, they know that about me. They know I'm the kind of person who wants that. Let's address the issue and then move on. They didn't do that. Again, as I said, I feel like there was a conversation that was had about me in November. And because of that conversation, they decided to not even bother to talk to me when I asked for help in February. So that was their choice. That was not me. And so I was like, I cannot apologize for that. And then I thought about saying, I'm sorry for whatever it is that I did, that because I felt this situation change in November, but then like explaining. And I was like, that explanation now feels like gaslighting. That explanation feels like manipulation. That explanation feels like I'm seeking sympathy. That explanation feels like so many toxic things that I did not want to be associated with. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that either. So while I was in church, all these things that I was trying to think about, all these ways that I was trying to think about, on how to ask for an apology, my answer at the end of it was, do not apologize. Just leave it like that. If you ever meet them, if your situation ever changes and you can ask them for coffee somewhere, you go sit down, have an open discussion with them, fine. Then tell them, what did you think? Why did you decide that? Because they know I will ask that. They know me and they know that if we ever get to that point, if we ever meet in real, I will ask them what changed. And then I'll know for sure if there was a conversation that was had about cutting me off or if there wasn't a conversation. I will know if it was just them who are like, you know what, I'm done. I'm done helping this woman. And it will be okay. But I just need to know what changed. Because there's something that told me that November that this person, and it wasn't that I had pushed them so hard. Honestly, it was just because that November I asked for their help twice and they only helped the one time. And maybe in their mind they thought a lot of things. And those things that they might have thought about me are also part of why I was like, I'm not going to apologize to this person. Because I also feel like I'm owed an apology because of whatever it is that they thought that made them not want to help in that particular scenario, because them just never wanting to help me again would have been fine. As I said, they could have just told me, I don't think I can ever help you again. And I would have been okay with that. But there's something that changed because I know this particular person. I know the way they think. I know them. And I know the way they talk as well. These things that people say, how people talk to you about others is how they talk to others about you. That's very legit. And I've experienced it firsthand a couple of times. So I know that it's true. So I know this person and I know them well. And I know how they think and how they behave. So that's why I'm saying either our conversation was had about me with people who did not know me, and this person who knows me, but not the me that I've been in the past 4 years, like not completely. Or it was an internal monologue that they had and they still decided that I was not worth it, which is okay because it's their money, it's their life. I'm not upset about that. But I felt like I was being judged for something that wasn't true, or they were judging a version of me that they thought they knew, a version of me that they created in their minds. They were like, oh no, this person is like this, we are not going to. And so in all of that, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to apologize. Let me just leave it at that. If we ever meet, I'm going to bring it up and we'll talk about it like civilized people, like mature people, like grown-ups. And we'll discuss it and then we'll move on from it. Because I want to. They're still my friend. I still love them. I still respect them. And I do not want to lose them because of such a silly thing. Because honestly, when I ask for help and you can't give it, I can't be upset with you because of that. Because I'm asking you because I do not have. So why would I be upset with you because you also do not have? You understand me? And if the roles were reversed, I know I would give because I know me, because I know I've given before. Even if it's just my time, I've given, because of my time, I've given my time so many times. And if I was charging for every second, every minute, every hour that I gave to people, I'll be a millionaire right now, I think. But anyway, I need your help to help me understand, or maybe tell me if I'm wrong or not. I know I need to apologize for something, but I feel whatever I was trying to apologize for that time was not it. I need to apologize for that conversation that was had without me. Whether it was a monologue or it was a conversation with somebody else, I need to apologize for that thing that they thought I was doing, if it's true. Because if I met them and they explained to me this is what I thought, I'd be like, well, I'm sorry that I made you feel like that. It was not my intention. Then I'll know what I'm apologizing for. But this time I'm just like, no, I don't know. I don't know what I'm apologizing for. And that is the reason why I'm not apologizing. So I'm just going to keep quiet until we meet. And I know it will happen because as long as they're alive and as long as I'm alive, I know there'll come a time when we might meet and we'll talk because we're still friends, and they've been behaving weirdly on social media since then, which is funny. But anyway, I'm not on socials Nini a lot, but it's okay. I do not force issues. I'm still trying to reach out because, like, not really. Like, if they put something online and get to see it on my timeline or something, or my stories on Insta or Facebook, I will like it and I've seen them win a couple of things in the past month, and I'm happy for them. I clap for them. And I'm okay with that. I say congratulations, I'm okay. They do not respond to anything, which is fine. As I said, there's something. I know there's something there. And that is something that they're carrying now. They're carrying this thing and they're carrying this image of me and that's why I need to have a conversation with them and discuss about it. Because whatever it is that they're thinking, I'm sure it's not true. But I cannot just say I'm sorry for nothing, because what conversation are we going to have that will not end with, oh, you're trying to gaslight me, or you're trying, to manipulate me, or you're trying to seek sympathy from me. I do not want that. I'm not interested. So I let them behave the way they want to behave. As long as they don't tell me stay away from my life completely, like, tell me just stop, or they block me or something. If they don't do that, I'm okay with it. If they block me, then it's okay. I still have their number. One thing I know for sure is that one day, as long as we are both alive, I'll make sure we sit down and have a conversation about it. So yeah, tell me, do you think I need to apologize to them? And if you do, then what do you think I should be apologizing for? And if you are me, how would you frame that apology? Because I've lost so many people because of this situation of me being jobless and stuff like that. I'm not interested in losing any more people, especially ones that I know I can fix the situation. And this one, I know I can, and I really want to. Not because I need any more of their help. That one has sealed. I'll never, and I know myself, I'll never ask them for their help again. But yeah, you say never, but then life puts you in a corner one time and you're like, you know what? Let me just try. But with them, I know for sure, never again. But I know that we also need to have a conversation. And tell me, has anyone ever done something to you and you're like, they need to ask for an apology, and you just had to forgive them without them asking, like, out loud? Or have you ever done something and you're like feeling guilty, like I am, because you didn't ask for an apology and you do not know how to ask for the apology, but you want them to know that you are sorry? Have you ever done that? Tell me in the comment section below. Tell me on Instagram, Mimi's Musings Podcast. Tell me on TikTok, Mimi's Musings Podcast. Make your orders on Instagram if you want to. And remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so whenever I upload something new, you're going to be amongst the first people to come and watch. Okay? Bye-bye now.